Good morning, students. This is Latif sir. Today I am going to discuss about general properties of colloids. That is properties of colloidal solutions or properties of sol. First property is Tyndall effect. Tyndall effect. What is Tyndall effect? It is the scattering of light when light is passing through colloidal solution. So, when a beam of light is passed through a colloidal solution, the colloidal particles scatter light, which renders the beam visible. And this property of colloidal system is called the Tyndall effect. So, scattering of light when the light is passing through a colloidal solution is known as Tyndall effect. You can see here in this figure it is given, it is showing scattering of light through colloidal solution, but true solution cannot scatter light. Okay, so Tyndall effect is the is one is a characteristic property of colloidal solution. Next property, Brownian motion. Brownian motion. What is Brownian motion? It is the haphazard movement of colloidal particles. Okay, so when seen through an ultra microscope, colloidal particles are in random motion, and the haphazard motion of the colloidal particles are the haphazard motion or movement of the colloidal particles is known as or is called Brownian motion. Okay, you can see in this figure it is showing Brownian movement of the colloidal particle, the haphazard or random movement of colloidal particles, which is known as Brownian movement. And the random movement of the colloidal particles is due to the bombardment of the particles by the molecules of the dispersion medium, which are themselves in random motion. So first property is Tyndall effect, second is Brownian movement, and next coagulation. Coagulation, it is one type of one coagulation is an important property of colloidal solution. So what is coagulation? Coagulation is the process of accumulation and settling down of colloidal particles due to the aggregation of the particles is known as coagulation or flocculation. What is coagulation? It is the process of accumulation and settling down of the colloidal particles due to aggregation of the particles is known as coagulation. Generally, lyophobic colloidal solution or lyophobic salts always carry some charge on them, and the charge present on the colloidal solution determine their stability. And if by any chance we can remove the charge present on the colloidal salt, the particles get closer to each other and they accumulate to form aggregates and precipitates under the action of gravity. And this process of precipitation under the action of gravity is known as coagulation. Okay. Now define techniques of coagulation. So coagulation techniques. The process of coagulation can be carried out in different ways. The process of coagulation can be carried out in different ways. First, by electrophoresis. By electrophoresis. So what is electrophoresis? By using electrophoresis, you can coagulate a colloidal solution, the particles of colloidal solution. By electrophoresis, in this method, the colloidal particles are forced to move towards the oppositely charged particles. the colloidal particles are forced to move towards the oppositely charged particles, and then they are discharged and collected at the bottom. So using the process of electrophoresis, you can coagulate a colloidal solution. Second, by mixing two oppositely charged salts. By mixing two oppositely charged salts. Okay. So in this type of coagulation, equal amounts of oppositely charged particles are mixed, and they cancel out their charges and then precipitate. By mixing two oppositely charged salts, you can coagulate the particles of colloidal solution. And in this type of coagulation, equal amount of oppositely charged particles are mixed, and they cancel out their charges and get precipitate. Here in the figure, coagulation by mixing two oppositely charged salts, you can see coagulation of colloidal particles by adding some coagulant, and the coagulant forms precipitate trapping impurities. Next method, by boiling. By boiling, you can coagulate the particles of colloidal solution. Whenever we boil whenever we boil a colloidal sol, the molecules of the dispersion medium start colliding with each other. The molecules of the dispersion medium start colliding with each other and with the surface, and this in turn disturbs the adsorption layer, and this reduces the charge on the sol, and due to which the particles settle down. So by boiling, you can coagulate the particles of you can coagulate the particles of colloidal solution. Okay. And the last method is by persistent dialysis. By persistence dialysis. What is persistent dialysis? You can see in the figure, coagulation by persistent dialysis. So under the persistent dialysis, part of the electrolytes are removed completely, and the sol loses its stability and ultimately coagulates. By this method, by persistent dialysis, the part of electrolytes are removed from the colloidal solution completely, and the colloidal sol loses its stability and ultimately coagulates. Okay, so these are four basic techniques of coagulations. That means coagulation means precipitation of colloidal particles under the action of gravity. And now coagulation of lyophilic solution. Coagulation of lyophilic solution. Stability of lyophilic solution depends on the two factors. One is charge, another is solvation. It is lyophilic. And the first one was lyophobic solution or colloidal solution. The stability of lyophilic solution or sol depends on two factors. One is charge, another is solvation. And when these two factors are removed, then only lyophilic sol can be coagulated. And this can be done by either adding an electrolyte or a suitable solvent. So for the coagulation of lyophilic solution, you have to remove the charge and solvation. These two factors you have to remove, and this can be done by either adding an electrolyte or by suitable solvent. Now, of colloids protection of colloids. I have told that colloids particles are can be colloid particle can be easily coagulated. So you have to protect the colloidal solution. And how to protect? First point, lyophilic salts are more stable than lyophobic salts. Lyophilic salt are more stable than lyophobic salt, and lyophilic colloids have a unique ability to protect lyophobic colloids from electrolyte. And when a lyophilic salt is added to lyophobic salt, the lyophilic particles or colloids form a layer around the particles of lyophobic salt, and lyophilic colloids protects, that means lyophilic colloids protects the lyophilic salts protects lyophobic salt. Thus, lyophilic colloids are also called protective colloids. Okay, when a lyophilic salt is added to a lyophobic salt, the lyophilic particles form a layer around the particles of lyophobic salt. That is why lyophilic colloids are also called protective colloids. So by using lyophilic colloids, you can protect a lyophobic colloid. And next day, I will discuss about uh, emulsion, micellis, and use of colloids. Okay, thank you, students.